Thanks everyone for joining us for this new member orientation hangout. Before we get started, I'd just like to do some brief introductions for those of you that don't know us. I'm Joanna and I work as an account supervisor at the social media agency that assists Google in managing the Google Partners community. And I have with me here Nick, who helps from the day-to-day operations standpoint from the agency side as well. And in the little boxes that you'll see at the bottom of your screen, there's a few of the moderators. Yvonne from Google is one of the moderators as well. Yvonne, did you want to just briefly introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm from Google, as Joanna mentioned. I'm the community manager for the GPC as well as a couple of other communities, one of our badge communities. So welcome.
Thanks, Yvonne. We also have in the little screens that they can do a little wave. We have Scotty, who's over in the UK. He's one of our community moderators, and Amanda, who's one of the community moderators as well here in our Toronto office. But we'll go into more detail about the moderators as we move into this presentation. Now, I also want to let you know there's a Q&A app where you can ask any questions, and Nick will be capturing them throughout the presentation so we can answer them at the end. So please feel free to use the Q&A app or the event page to ask any of your questions. Now, before we dive into this, I just want to provide some context as to why we hold these orientation hangouts. So through survey feedback and just general feedback from members, we found that a barrier to engaging in the community is really a lack of understanding of how to navigate the space, how to post, and really what the real value is in participating in the community. So we thought it would be best to just actually walk you right through everything that you can do in the community and how to do it. So during this presentation, we will cover our community DNA, including who you will get to know, what you can see and do, and how you can best utilize it. I hope it's helpful, and again, ask any questions throughout the presentation using the Q&A app. I'll now hand it over to Yvonne, who will cover a little about the community DNA.
So hang on a second.
Oh.
Hi, I was hoping to see the slides.
There you are.
Okay, so thanks again to Joanna. So as you can see from this slide, we opened the community for a test back in May of 2013, and we've expanded to the larger North American community to over 2 years ago, and have expanded to 23,000. We're really proud of that. So the purpose of the community is to further educate you as partners around AdWords and analytics so that you can better serve your clients. So we created an environment for you to build relationships with your peers by asking questions and sharing experiences and tips. It's also a forum for you to ask questions about, along with benefiting from the information and tools shared by Googlers and by industry leaders. We have a lot of weekly features that, like Hangouts on air, like this one, and studio-produced ones, and things like Ask a Googler and Ask an Ambassador to help you in that regard. So, who's in the community? You'll be able to connect with Googlers, with some industry leaders like Fred Vallis and Justin Cutroni, who hold some Hangouts on air, our community managers, some of which Joanna just introduced you to, ambassadors, and partners like you. So we community moderators can be a great source of support and information. We moderate the discussion, and we also post announcements pretty frequently, educational content, tips, news, and so on, as well as answer any questions you have. Amanda's in Toronto and plans much of the content, and she also posts it, and some fun initiatives that we incorporate along the way. Jeff's our analytics master, and he's based in Tucson, and Scotty, our AdWords expert, as Joanna already mentioned, is based out of the UK. One thing to note is that on Thursday mornings, West Coast time, I'm usually helping produce the weekly Hangouts on air. So if you have any questions on them during that time, Jeff's your man. Feel free to reach out to any of us directly during our scheduled shifts. We're here to help. However, if you have a question that you feel would benefit the members at large, it would be best for you to post the question in the community so everyone can benefit from the responses. So another part of the community is our ambassador program. You'll see these guys post a lot. In fact, one of the things we look for is active membership. These are peers who are very active in the community, offering a great deal of support and sharing high-quality content. Every quarter, we look at our members' activity and extend invitations to join the ambassador team if their contributions match the criteria set out for this group. You may already be familiar with some of their faces. We now have 18 ambassadors, too many to fit on this page, but these are a few of the key contributors. We truly appreciate all of their contributors. I'll pass it back to Joanna now, who will walk you through what you can see and do in the community, including more detailed information about the ambassador program. Here's to you, Joanna.
Thanks, Ron. So there's quite a lot that I can cover in regards to what you can see and do, but I'm cognizant of everybody's time, so I'll try to keep it to the key points. And again, just a reminder that there's a live Q&A at the end of this, so ask your questions in the Q&A app. So in regards to what we share in the community, we share a great deal of content in the community. On average, our moderators are doing about 5 posts per day, and several posts come through from members on a daily basis. They range from announcements regarding Google products and features, tips about AdWords, daily recaps of the top content shared in the community, along with case studies and white papers that you can leverage and use in presentations with your clients, which is great. And there are some great educational articles, research-related posts, and members often share their experiences and learnings. As well, there's also resources to help you prepare for your AdWords and analytics exams in order to achieve your certifications, which is an important credential to achieve. The image that you see on the right-hand side of your screen there is an image of a daily recap. Yvonne is typically posting the daily recaps now, so keep an eye out for those, especially if you're busy throughout the day and don't have a great deal of time to follow along with each post that's coming through. Yvonne will recap the top posts of the day, so keep an eye out in the evenings, Monday through Friday, for Yvonne's daily recaps. Now, how to get involved. There's many ways that you can get involved, and the best way is really just to jump in and get started. One of the ways in which you can do so is using the GPC bat signal hashtag. So this signifies to other members and moderators that you have a pressing question or issue that you need resolved. And so you'll see that you get timely responses when you include that bat signal hashtag. Another hashtag that members use from time to time is GPC True Story. And this is a hashtag they use to share an experience or a learning, maybe a challenge that they've overcome, where other members can benefit from your learnings. Another really great activity to take part in through the community are weekly GPC Hangouts. So these are typically hosted by Googlers or industry leaders on a variety of topics related to AdWords, analytics, YouTube, or digital marketing in general. And they typically are held on Thursdays. From time to time, they're held on other days as well. But keep an eye out for invitations to these Hangouts, or check our events tab in the community to ensure that you're taking advantage of these Hangouts. Other than that, really posting relevant tips and insights with the community related to the business of Google Partners, sharing any newsworthy industry content that you come across that you think would be beneficial to members, and providing any feedback via surveys or polls. So we're always looking to tailor our content to your needs and wants. So providing feedback to any surveys or polls helps us to make sure that we are optimizing what we're delivering to you. So now I'm going to throw it over to Nick, who will walk you through a little bit about how you can take it to the next level.
Thanks, Joanna. If you're looking to take time in the GPC to the next level, there are several ways that you can go about it, and several ways in which you can be recognized for it. First off is to get featured in a monthly leaderboard. In order to do so, you'll need to post educational or insightful content related to the business of partners that is well received and written within the community, meaning that it receives a lot of comments and +1s from other members. Some tips for achieving great content are posting content that's relevant to the community, ensuring that it's insightful, newsworthy, and ideally something that members can act on, making sure that you're highlighting the value of the content you post rather than just communicating how it's beneficial, prompting conversation by asking a member at the end of your post, and be sure to follow up and engage with others in the comments of your post. Now, to become featured in a partner spotlight, it really helps if you post unique content rather than just content that you share from other sources. People want to hear your thoughts as well. Provide insights and valuable information about the industry, and not only in posts, but also furthering discussions on other people's comments, as well as posts that others have made. Definitely use the GPC hashtag that we discussed earlier, and to show your support by jumping in to answer members' questions. I know quite a lot of members are frequently asking questions, so it always helps to jump in and help out. One of the ways that you can best utilize the community is taking advantage of the resources and support that will help you to build your credentials. In addition to your knowledge and expertise, specifically getting your AdWords and Analytics certifications. The first step is to become AdWords certified. If you're not already, the minimum requirement for your AdWords certification is passing the AdWords Fundamentals exam and one of the other AdWords exams. If you search AdWords Fundamentals in the Classic G+ of the community, you'll find some very helpful study guides that we share frequently. Once you've tackled that, continue on your path to becoming specialized by achieving the remaining 4 AdWords certifications, including the most recent, which we've added, the mobile certification. And finally, to ensure that your clients and prospects have confidence in your ability to execute and analyze their ad campaigns, it's always worthwhile to go forward with your analytics certification as well. There's also a link in this slide for some frequently asked questions in the community related to the exam content, as well as gives you a quick brief overview of what we'd cover in the presentation. Once you've achieved your certifications, you should focus on achieving the criteria required to become a badged Google partner. Now, becoming badged gives you more credibility with clients and new prospects, and provides you with the opportunity to participate in exclusive competitions, receiving additional rewards and access to the badged Google Partners community. In order to receive the Google Partners badge, which you can proudly display, you need, of course, to complete your partner's company profile, successfully complete your AdWords certifications, and meet minimum spend requirements, which are a 10K in AdWords spend over the last 90 calendar days. You need to have spend activity in at least 60 of the last 90 days. Your MCC manager account has to be at least 90 days old. And lastly, you need to make sure that you're implementing best practices as you move through. In addition to the benefits I already mentioned, becoming badged also provides you with the opportunity to become a Google Partners Community Ambassador. Now, some of the benefits of becoming an ambassador are special access to the community team and Googlers. You'll be recognized as a thought leader in the community and gain exposure. You'll be able to build relationships with other industry experts. You'll have a say in the future of the direction of the community. You'll receive insight into upcoming initiatives and community metrics. And, as you'll see from many of their posts, access to exclusive events and swag. Now I'm going to throw this over to Amanda, who will give you a brief walkthrough of the community and introducing to you how to navigate it, post, and how to manage your notifications.
Thanks, Nick. So I'm going to walk you through, like Nick just said, the Google Partners community, and I'm going to start off with the classic G+ version. As some of you may know, there's a classic version and there's a new version. So we're going to start with the classic version. So I'm going to share my screen with you now. So everybody should be looking at the community in its classic version. So let's take a look. So I'm going to talk first about how to search for topics within the community. One thing you can do is use our categories, which I'm hovering over right now. They're on the left side of the community. So you can see items like water cooler, running an agency, Google Ads, etc. So say if you wanted to find posts related to Google Ads, you simply click on that category, and it'll produce all of the posts filed under Google Ads. Another thing you can do is use the actual search field. So there's a little magnifying glass type thing. I'm going to type in my topic, which is analytics, hit enter, and it's going to give me all of the posts related to analytics. Now, one thing you can do is filter your results by either best of or most recent. So here I'm going to switch over to most recent, and it will actually show me the post in chronological order related to analytics. Hashtags. So I believe we've already covered a few of the community hashtags. We have our own community hashtags such as GPC Analytics, which I'm typing into the search bar right now, GPC AdWords, GPC YouTube. So say if I do a search for GPC YouTube, hit enter, and then you'll see the posts that use that hashtag. And again, you can filter by best of or by most recent. When you go back to the main community page, on the right-hand side, you'll see about this community. And underneath that, you see some of our community values, helpful hashtags, and you'll see a number of links. So you may want to check out some past Hangouts. You can see our community guidelines, meet the ambassadors, meet the moderators, etc. So if you're new to the community, I recommend sort of browsing around, reading some of those documents, because they really give you a good idea of what the community is all about, and I'm sure you'll find some helpful information. Let's see, so posting. So say you want to create your first post. That's pretty straightforward. You just go up to the blank text box right here. It's right on the, I guess, sort of in the middle of the page here, this blank box. Start typing your post. Now in the appendix, we will have some posting tips, such as if you want to do bolding, you do like that. Asterisks on either side. If you want to italicize, you do underscore, type the word, and then close it with another underscore. So there's some little tips like that. So then you select your category. So usually we use water cooler if something doesn't fall into one of our more specific categories. That's sort of our general catch-all kind of category. But you might want to select a more specific category, such as YouTube, analytics, etc. You can attach a photo or a link or a video. You can create a poll, etc. So there's some little tips there. And then when you're ready to share your post, you just hit share. Okay, notifications. So I know that some people find getting too many notifications a bit annoying, because especially when they're interfering with your work emails. So if you're finding it bothersome, what you can do, I'm hovering right now on the left-hand side, it says notifications on. Just click on that and it'll turn them off. But what I personally recommend, rather than turning off your notifications altogether, just set up your email inbox so that all of your community notifications go into a certain folder. And that way they won't clog up your inbox and interfere with your work email. So now I'm going to actually switch over to the new G+, so hopefully everybody can see that. So this is what the community looks like using the new G+. So it's a little bit different. It's a lot cleaner and less cluttered, but there are a few differences. So there's actually not a search field just for the community. We still have our categories here on the left-hand side, just like with the old style. But if you wanted to search for a specific hashtag, if you type it into the search bar, which is at the top of the page, like GPC Analytics, you can still search for our community hashtags that way. But you just, for the time being, you can't do a search that's only limited to our community. So if you just type the word analytics, for example, you're probably going to get our community as well as other communities that mention that. So that's just one of the big differences to be aware of. But the best thing to do is use our community hashtags like GPC YouTube, GPC AdWords, etc., and then you'll find what you're looking for. Let me just go back to our community for a sec here. More information. So yeah, if you click on this little eye in a circle, that's where you'll find the About This Community section. All of the links are still there. Oh yeah, and then in terms of writing a post, so that's one of the big differences. Instead of a text box at the top, there's this pencil icon. It's way at the bottom in the right-hand side in a little green circle. Click on the pencil. You can still type your post, attach a photo, and then for categories, I guess there are no categories, so that's one of the other differences. You can't select a category. Now to do for notifications, you can still turn off your notifications. The way you do that is these three dots. So next are the community logo, click on the three dots, click on community settings, and then there's this little slider thing here. Right now my notifications are on, but I can turn it off. But like I was saying earlier, I really recommend setting up filters in your inbox. And if you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you set up filters if you don't know how. So say if you want to go back to the old style of G+, you just click on these three bars at the top, and then in the bottom left-hand corner, it says back to classic G+, and now I should be back in the classic G+. So I'm going to pass it back to Joanna now, but like I said, if you have any questions, just put them into the Q&A app or type them on the event page, and we're happy to answer them.
Okay, great. Thanks, Amanda. So before we wrap up the presentation portion, I just wanted to walk you through the Partners Portal briefly. So we've had some questions from members in the past about where to find specific things, some of which live here. The portal is not part of the community, but it directly correlates with it. It's where you would have set up your MCC account. So the screenshot that you see here on the slide deck captures an overview of your account profile page. And in the left-hand column of the screen, you'll see certification circled there, which Nick was talking about earlier in regards to where you can get certified. This is a place to do so. So you can select AdWords or Analytics, and in those links you'll find study materials to help you prepare for your exams, and then the actual links to the exams as well. The space right under the lovely profile pic of Scotty there is where you can print off your AdWords certification. And the clients area shows you incoming leads and promotions available to you. On the right-hand side there where it says company affiliation just shows that you're affiliated with your company. And then back to the left-hand column there where it says community, that's just a direct link right back to the GPC. And so that pretty much covers the presentation portion. In the appendix, which we'll share this slide deck with you in the event page immediately after this Hangout, so you can dig through it a little more. But there's some more information about how to navigate the GPC, about how to post, some of the tips that Amanda shared around how to bold and italicize and all of that. And then also some more information about how to manage your notifications. At the very end of the slide deck, there's a whole list of resources. So if you want to know more about the moderators or the ambassadors, there's links there, links for your notifications, the links to the portal that I was just talking about, how to achieve partner status, a variety of things to dig into there. And on the very final slide, there's a link to a new member survey where we'd love for you to fill out and provide any information and feedback so we can certainly optimize and deliver the best possible content to you. So we're just going to switch gears now and jump over to the Q&A portion of this Hangout and answer any questions that you have, and feel free to continue asking in the Q&A app in the event page. So I'll just throw it over to Nick now.
Yep, so we do have a few questions coming in. The first one, actually, I will ask to Amanda. Rich asks, will these slides be available for download?
Yep, so we will be posting these slides following the event on the event page and in the community. We'll reply to our post about the event with a comment with the link to the slides.
Awesome. And the next question, actually, I'll pose to Scotty. What is the length of time commitment for Google certification, and how much does it cost?
Sorry, repeat that, Nick.
Yep. What is the length of time commitment for Google certifications, and how much does it cost?
Okay, so it's free to take the exams, and you have to get 2 other certifications, which will last for a year, and then after that year, you'll be able to renew them again. Okay.
I think what Scotty was saying there, he just froze a little bit, was that you have to renew on an annual basis. So you can take your certification, it's good for a year, and then you have to renew the certification after a year.
And so the next question I will ask to Amanda. Do you have to switch between Google Classic and Google+? If so, what one is best for posting?
As far as I'm concerned, it's really just about your personal tastes. Like, I've switched between both of them. I find they both work easily. It's just like I was saying earlier, there's a few little subtle differences between the two styles, but just use whichever one you're comfortable with. I wouldn't say that one's better or one's not, or yeah, it's kind of a personal preference. I do think the new version's a bit cleaner and a bit less cluttered. So if you're kind of going for like a less cluttered look, then maybe you might prefer the new version.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on what functions you prefer to use. So if the search functionality is something that's important to you, then I would maybe use the classic version or the categories. But other than that, I think the majority of it is fairly similar.
Okay, and the next question I will actually pose to you, Joanna. Jensen is asking us to explain the GPC bat signal hashtag again.
Okay, so the bat signal hashtag is really quite simple. It's just a signal to other members that you have a pressing question. So a lot of our members tend to use this community as sort of their first line of defense while they're sitting at their desks at work and they have an issue arise that they need to resolve quickly. They come to the community and post with their question to get a quick answer. And all of our ambassadors and moderators know that when somebody includes that hashtag GPC bat signal, that they have a really urgent question that they need addressed so that they can ensure they focus on that first. So just simply include that somewhere in your post.
Okay, and then the next question, Scotty, I think we'll try this again. Is 10K spending consecutive, or is it a one-time hit the target?
No, that's something you'll have to maintain. You can't just do it one-off.
Okay. And the next question I will pose back over to Joanna. Can you show the link to the login to the portal? I'm assuming this means to follow up after.
Yeah, we'll include that. It is in this slide deck. That will include a link in the event page after. So just look for the second to last slide in the slide deck where it says resources. There's a link to the portal in that.
Okay, and the next question from Colin I'm going to pose to Amanda. Where do you find the white papers and other files that we can share with potential clients?
Well, we don't. I mean, if you do a search in the community for, like in the past, we've shared pitch deck. We call them pitch decks, and I guess we might have called them white papers as well. But the best thing you can do is probably do a search in the community for either the term pitch deck or white paper. Those are all like client-facing type documents, like especially our pitch decks. A lot of people find helpful when they're trying to sell a client on a new tool or a new feature. So yeah, just do a search for pitch deck or white paper in the community, and you should be able to find them. If you have trouble, just let me know, and I'll. If you're looking for like a specific one and you can't find it, feel free to reach out to me or another moderator, and we'll help you find it.
Yeah, Amanda brings up a good point. If at any point in time anyone has any questions, feel free to ping one of the moderators, message them, and we'll find a way to help you as best we can. So I have one more question here for Scotty. Am I allowed to post about other topics besides AdWords?
Yeah, members post about any topic related to the business associated with Google Partners, including but not limited to analytics, SEO, YouTube, social media marketing. So anything that is based around Google Partners, basically.
Okay. And one question, Yvonne, I can flip this one over to you. Can we reach out to moderators directly if we have a question but don't want to share it with everyone else in the community?
Okay, so before I answer that question, I want to kind of piggyback on what Scotty just said. One other topic that you might want to discuss in the area is managing an agency, and so people also post a lot of those questions in the community, and we even post as moderators post features in that area. So yes, you absolutely can and should definitely feel free to contact the moderators during their sessions or ping me. Even if it's not my session, we're here to help.
Okay. And the next question I will ask Amanda. I wrote a blog post that I think the GPC members would enjoy. Am I allowed to post that in the community?
Yeah, you're absolutely allowed to post your own blog posts in the community. We just have a few guidelines around that. So number one, make sure what you're posting is going to be relevant to people in the community. Are they going to find it valuable and useful? Are they going to learn something from it? It can't just be something that's self-promotional, promoting your own agency. It really does need to provide some sort of learning so everybody in the community can benefit from it. So yeah, the only reason we would remove a blog post is if we found it to be purely, self-promotional, promoting your own agency. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, we definitely encourage you to share your own posts. Another guideline is, try not to flood the community. We don't want you posting 10 of your own blog posts in a row. It's fine to post your own content, but just make sure you spread it out and try not to overload the community. Keep in mind that everybody does get a notification every single time you post, so just be wary of overposting. But otherwise, go ahead. We're always happy to have you share.
Awesome. Scotty, I have one more question for you. What if I am looking to connect with more experienced AdWords professionals?
Yeah, there are many experienced AdWords professionals within the Google Partners community, but if you are a badged partner, you can request to join the badged partners community, which is a smaller community of the advanced Google partners who are all badged. We will share a link to the request to join form in the event page of this Hangout shortly after the Hangout.
Okay. And one more question for Joanna this time. Do members ever use the community to look for jobs or post jobs?
Yeah, so from time to time, we do find people asking for job opportunities or looking to fill a position. But because we want to keep the community hyper-focused on education and learning, we don't allow people to post their own posts about job opportunities. So what we do ask is that you keep an eye out for our weekly job opportunities post that occurs on a Wednesday, and you can comment on that post with any opportunities that you have or positions that you're looking to fill.
Okay, there's one more question in here. I believe it's referring to the time commitment for certifications and how much they cost. Scotty, I'll flip this to you. It's how does that pertain to individuals who are in this to manage their Google grant for nonprofits AdWords?
I'll have to get back on that one.
Okay. I think that's it for the questions. There are a couple more questions that we'll have to follow up with after this Hangout. So we'll make sure that any of your questions that you have put in here are followed up with. Again, feel free if you have any further questions to ask either one of the moderators, or feel free to post on this event page, and we'll do our best to follow up as quickly as possible. And I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that covers it. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the community.
Bye, guys.
See you.